In part one of chapter one, I threw a whole lot of stuff at you in a very short amount of time. So this is kind of an opportunity just to unpack some of that and give you some extra familiarity with the different parts and organelles of a cell. The first thing is that there's a great table in your book, 4.1. This is one that you're going to want to be familiar with for the exam. So what would be a good idea is right now, go ahead and pause the video. I've got a lot of the stuff blocked out here so you can't see it. And I've got all the components of the cell listed, and then see if you can't describe to yourself what the function is, whether it's present in prokaryotes, if it's present in animal cells, or if it's present in plant cells. Pause the video, work through this, and then I'll go through the answers in just a minute. Okay, so the answers are the following. For the plasma membrane, first, the function is that it's going to be the thing that separates the cell. It creates a boundary for the cell. You know, it's got that hydrophobic region between the in the fatty acid tails of the phospholipids. So it helps the inside of the cell keep it consistency in an environment different than the outside of the cell. You find these in prokaryotes, and you also find these in animal cells and plant cells. Remember, the plasma membrane is one of those things that you find in all cells. It's one of the four things that's found in all cells. Next is the cytoplasm, and this was also another one of those things that is found in all cells, no matter what type. And this is going to be basically where there's a lot of stuff happening. It's just kind of the jelly-like substance that fills the cell and allows the movement of organelles and dissolved substances to pass through and around the cell. And again, you will find these in all different types of cells, prokaryotes, animal cells, and plant cells. The nucleolus, this is the place where ribosomes are made down in the nucleus. So then my question to you is, if it is in the nucleus, do you suspect that prokaryotes would have it? And your answer should be no, because remember, prokaryotes, this word means prokaryote, before nucleus. So prokaryotes do not have a nucleus or any other membrane-bound organelle. But you would find these in animal cells, and you would find these in plant cells. The nucleus then is a similar thing. So this is going to be the place where all the DNA is stored. And so it houses the DNA, and then it also is going to direct the synthesis of ribosomes. This happens again right here in the nucleus, and then all the proteins that are made, this happens through this molecule called mRNA, as well as some other types of RNA, but the information starts with mRNA. And the nucleus is not going to be found in prokaryotes, because again, prokaryote means before nucleus. And you would, yes, find these in animal and plant cells. Ribosomes, this is the place where protein is made. And ribosomes is another one of those things that is one of the four components that you find in any kind of cell. So it will be found in all three. Mitochondria, these are the ones that make energy, and that's through ATP, through a process known as cellular respiration. We'll learn about cellular respiration later. And this is not found in prokaryotes. Mitochondria are a membrane-bound organelle, so they're not found in prokaryotes, but they are found in animal cells and plant cells. Peroxisomes, these are the things that break down fatty acids and amino acids. They also detoxify stuff, and in the process produce this stuff called hydrogen peroxide, which is why we call them a peroxisome. These are not found in prokaryotes. Again, another membrane-bound organelle. They are found in animal cells, and they are found in plant cells. Vesicles and vacuoles. The vesicles are involved in transporting stuff. Vacuoles are involved in storing stuff. In either one, they're just kind of a membrane sac, a ball, a hollow ball that's got a skin of plasma membrane around it, and they store and transport stuff. And these are not going to be found in prokaryotes. They are a membrane-bound organelle, and they will be found in animal cells and plant cells. The centrosome is the thing that's involved for, it has some sort of unspecified role in mitosis, but it's involved in cell division in some capacity, and in that sense it's well, hold on one second, I'll talk about that in just a minute. It is not found in prokaryotes because it's a membrane-bound organelle. And then what I wanted to say earlier is that this is one of those things that is found in animals but is not found in plants. So you might want to keep an eye out on those, because there's not many things that are found in plants that aren't found or that are found in animals that aren't found in plants. This is one of those kind of more rare occasions. Lysosomes are things that digest macromolecules and they break down stuff. So again, this is when you have a membrane-bound hollow ball that has some specialized enzymes in it, and then it can go fuse with something and break it down. And it is not a prokaryotic thing because it's a membrane-bound organelle, and it is in animal cells, but it is not in plant cells. This is one of those things, another one of those kind of special things that is different between plants and animals. All right, here's the remainder of our organelles. Go ahead and pause the video, work through this, and then I'll go through the answers with you. All right, so let's go through these. Cell wall, the function of this is going to be to protect and give structural support to a cell. And this is actually a little bit tricky. This is found in prokaryotes, but I'm not sure what they're going to say here. Oh yeah, they do mention it. It's formed of this stuff called peptidoglycan, but don't worry about that. I mean, that's a microbiology thing you can learn if you take microbiology. It is not found in animal cells. It is found in plant cells, and you should know that that is made out of cellulose fibers. But you don't need to know that it's peptidoglycan in prokaryotes. Chloroplasts are things that make energy, so they're kind of like mitochondria in that respect, except rather than make energy from sugar, breaking down sugar, they actually will create energy by producing sugar. So mitochondria break down sugar for energy, but chloroplasts will actually create and store the energy in sugar molecules using this process known as photosynthesis. Not found in prokaryotes, so that this isn't always true. There are some bacteria that do have chloroplasts. We call them cyanobacteria, or they have a chloroplast-like structure anyway. Not found in animal cells. It is definitely found in plant cells. Endoplasmic reticulum, this is a membrane-bound organelle that has got two parts to it. There's the rough ER, which is going to modify proteins, and then the smooth ER helps to synthesize lipids. And there's a little overlap here between these. Some of the rough ER can make lipids as well. But in either case, they make a whole bunch of different types of proteins and modify. They don't make the protein, but they modify the protein and then make the lipids. And then these are not found in prokaryotes. These are in animal cells, and they are in plant cells. The Golgi apparatus receives these modified proteins and synthesized lipids and determines what to do with them, and it can then sort and package and then distribute these things that are made by the endoplasmic reticulum. Not found in prokaryotes, is found in animal cells, is found in plant cells. The cytoskeleton is going to help a cell keep its shape. It's also going to be a place where organelles are secured. It allows cytoplasm and vesicles to move within the cell and enables unicellular organisms to move independently. So some of these things here, the one that secures organelles in their shape, this would be the microtubules. And also the one that allows the movement of vesicles is the microtubules. I lied. The one that secures organelles is the intermediate filaments. And then the one that's I'm not talking about here is the microfilaments. And these are the ones that are made out of actin. They're the narrowest. They help thicken the edge of the cell and help it resist tension. So when things are pushed on the cell, it kind of pushes back. And it's also going to be a way that some organelles can actually attach to that actin and enable movement. So that's the cytoskeleton. You do find these in prokaryotes. They are in animal cells, and they are found in plant cells. So you can pretty much, cytoskeleton is something that's found in almost nearly all cells. Okay, then flagella help move the cells. These are found in some prokaryotes, some animal cells, and not really in plant cells, but you do find some in the plant sperm. Like, for example, moss have a sperm gamete that when it's wet, the water droplets hit the moss and the sperm the sperm splash out, and then they can kind of swim to another moss plant. So it's kind of interesting respective those cells. Cilia then are not involved really as much in cellular locomotion, although it does say it here. It's not really kind of the primary thing that they're known for. They're more known for moving particles along the extracellular surface. And you will find these in some prokaryotes, yes, more probably in animal cells, and there aren't really many cases where you would find those in plant cells. So that's kind of a gist of chapter 4. If you feel like you can, when I show these unfilled tables, if you feel like you can fill them out to the degree of specificity that I've described in these parts of the review exercise, then you're doing pretty well. And as a final treat for chapter 4, I recommend that you go ahead and you look up The Inner Life of a Cell on YouTube or something. Find the full version, and it is truly remarkable. There was an animation done, I think it was by Harvard, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But they wanted to detail everything that happens to make it so that a white blood cell can squeeze in between the endothelial cells, or the cells that line the inside of a blood vessel, such as an artery. And it's truly remarkable how that all happens. If you want, I'll go ahead and pull it up and you can just watch it from here. Otherwise, you're welcome to just watch it on yourself. It's not going to be something that I expect you to know or learn about, but it's just kind of an interesting animation to watch on your own time. So without further ado, treat yourself right here. The Inner Life of a Cell. There is a narrated version where they're telling everything that's going on, but that's kind of above our scope of the class. So for this purpose, it's just kind of fun to kind of get a spatial perspective for all the events that are happening in the cell.